Welcome to this new video on surveillance capitalism. If you have seen my previous videos, you have a fair understanding of the category of surveillance capitalism, which could roughly be summarized by saying that in this system, this type of economic system, companies collect information about people to generate huge profit. Surveillance capitalism is new and different from anything we have seen before. That's why it has the characteristic of being unprecedented, never seen before. When something is new and different, it's hard to understand because we don't have a way to compare it to things we already know. Shoshana Zuboff, the author of the book, reminds us of the situation when cars were first invented and people called them horseless carriages because they did not have another way to think about them. So the author says that surveillance capitalism is a problem because we don't have a good way to understand it or talk about it. We use words like monopoly and privacy, but those words don't really describe what's happening with surveillance capitalism. So Shoshana Zuboff thinks we need to study it more and come up with new words, new terminology to describe the surveillance capitalism so we can fight against it. We need to understand fully the concept of surveillance capitalism, which, as we have already said, is a new form of capitalism that has broken away from the norms and practices that define the history of capitalism. Shoshana Zuboff explains that the unprecedented nature of surveillance capitalism has enabled it to elude systematic contest because it cannot be adequately grasped with our existing concepts. So, in this text, she presents an analogy with, for example, we said the horseless carriage before, or with the inability to recognize the unprecedented. When, for example, the Tainos of the pre-Columbian Caribbean island, who saw the Spanish conqueror as God, and the other describes our existing lenses, which illuminates familiar, obscure the original, making it difficult to fight the unprecedented. So let me quote a few lines from the book. One explanation for surveillance capitalism's many triumphs floats above them all. It is unprecedented. The unprecedented is necessarily unrecognizable. When we encounter something unprecedented, we automatically interpret it through the lenses of familiar categories, thereby rendering invisible precisely that which is unprecedented. We could already see in these statements at least three levels of implication: one epistemological, one ontological, and one hermeneutical. On the epistemological level, the text raises questions about the limits of human knowledge and understanding. It suggests that our existing framework and categories may be inadequate for comprehending and making sense of entirely new phenomena. It also implies that our perception and interpretation of reality are not objective, but rather subject to our experiences and prior knowledge. So, is reality fixed? That's the ontological question. Is reality static, or it is constantly changing and evolving? So The text suggests that there may be aspects of reality that are fundamentally new and different from anything we have encountered before. This challenges the notion that our existing categories and concepts are sufficient for capturing the richness and complexity of reality. And finally, hermeneutically, we can think that interpretation is a crucial aspect of human cognition and understanding. It implies that our interpretation of reality are always mediated by our prior experiences, cultural background, and existing framework of understanding. Moreover, the text suggests that our interpretation may themselves be limiting in that they may prevent us from perceiving aspects of reality that do not fit neatly into our existing category. So that was for today.